I'm back. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Let's Talk Raptors. I'm your host, Ahtisham, my channel where you get reviews, analysis, predictions, and hot takes on all things Raptors as well as some NBA. So, sorry about that. The Raptors had their game against New Orleans Pelican today in the Scotiabank gymnasium, I would call it, instead of an arena, but so without further ado, let's talk Raptors versus Pelicans. So this game was a nip, well, you could say a nip and tuck game. Pelicans were coming off, I think they won against Golden State. So they had a little bit of oomph today, and we were missing Gary Trent Jr. So it was pretty much a game of run, and I know Jack was saying that throughout the whole broadcast. It's basically the Raptors will go on like a 10-0 run, then Pelicans would go on a 10-0 run, then Raptors go on like a 14-15 run, then they do the same thing, and it just goes back and forth, and it's not really a fun. It wasn't really a fun game to watch because again, New Orleans Hurricane, even though they played very well today, they just, it's a team that you should be winning from. So if they cut it close, you just want to rake on your team, not say that they did well. But by the first half, we're up by only one. Then the third quarter starts, and the same thing goes on and on. But Pascal today I think he had 13 points in the third quarter, so he played very, very well in this game, and I'll get to him later on. But it seemed like him and Freddie had some of the had a little bit of chemistry going, and they're doing well for the previous 3 or 4 games. So he kept us in the game because Pelicans were defending well. Nobody else was really doing well on the offensive side, but Pascal was doing his. He had a mix of everything: 3-point shots, getting to the bucket, getting to the foul line. I think he went 10 for 10 today at the foul line, so it was pretty good. And then the fourth quarter rolled on. Same thing was happening back and forth. Eventually, the Raptors put themselves up by 10 on a Freddie Van Vliet three from the corner. But then, New Orleans calls a timeout. They come back and they go on a run. And then it's about, what was it, 96, 99. And that is when the highlight play of the game showed up. So the clock is running down. Pascal is trying to get a post up, but he's way too far from the rim. I think he's on top of the key there. And like there's 3 4 seconds left on the clock. He passes it to Freddie at half court almost, like at the logo. Freddie shoots like a complete rainbow, like just chucks it up there, and boom, swish, ties the game at 99-99. Then we get a steal on the other side. Pascal passes it to Freddie. Freddie comes back. Devontae Graham, I think it was, is playing Freddie for the rim run. So he's going to Graham goes towards the rim. Freddie takes a step back, and he ain't missing from the 3-point line these days, bro. So he takes a step back three, boom, puts us up by 102, 102. Ingram comes to the other side, shoots a 2-point, like gets to the rim, but we come from the other side, and we take like 3 4 shots. Pascal takes one from the elbow. Freddie takes a 3-point shot. Freddie takes a 2-point shot, and Freddie tries to get to the rim, and we just keep getting the rebound again and again. And then Freddie tried to do a teardrop, and he also tried to get a foul on that same play. He misses a shot. Kember, sorry. Last one was Kember. He does a, middle of the lane teardrop, misses it, but Chris Boucher just tips it in. And it's pretty much over by that time because it was like 10 seconds, 12 seconds left on the clock. And the Raptors, come out with a win. 105, 104, 101. And overall, not much of a game, honestly. Like, you expect to win from the Pelicans. They don't have Zion Williamson. They didn't even have Josh Hart today. And ever since they let Lonzo Ball go, they were idiots for doing it. But, they're not much of a team right now with their whole organization. But I won't get into that as much. So, key takeaways. Number one is the Raptors have a lot of offensive weapons. I feel like anytime, as long as 4 out of our 4 main players, which is OG Anunoby, Gary Trent Jr., Pascal Siakam, or Freddie Van Vliet, 2 guys are going off, we will always be in that game. I don't mean going off, but I mean like just, providing consistent offense when everything goes stagnant for everybody else. And that's exactly what Pascal did today. That's what Freddie did in the fourth quarter. And that is helping us carry on. Now, if Freddie and Pascal don't have it going, OGM Gary Trent can have it. So that's one thing that I feel that the Raptors really have an advantage over other teams, that they have four weapons that can keep them in the game. And that's gonna really help us out because in the future when Gary gets his rhythm back, OG has a little bit more of his you know flow back as well. Rhythm, same word. So once they have that a little bit more back, just like Freddie and Pascal do, the defenses are going to have to play man to man. They won't be able to double Freddie. They won't be able to double Pascal because they'll know if we try to double these guys, either Gary or OG are going to be open. And even with Scotty Barnes, like he can get to the rim. He's pretty good around finishing. So we have a lot of weapons in our arsenal to be able to use against defenses to make them play man to man. And when we play man to man, we have an advantage because our guys are taller, quicker, and everything like that. So that's really going to be helpful to us going forward. Hopefully it works out that way, that at a time, every game, there's two guys going off. Second key takeaway, something I've noticed is Nick Nurse is starting to call better timeouts. Today, I think Pelicans got to 89-91 or so, and he calls a timeout and comes out of the play. Comes up with a play to make sure that the lead doesn't go away, and he draws up a play for Freddie to come up with, and it works out for us. It puts us up by like 4. So it seems like Nick Nurse is now finally figuring out when to call a timeout, because he used to have the habit of, hey, guys can figure it out, and now call a timeout when the other team's momentum is just going crazy. And he's doing a better job at it. He's also trying to be more proactive with his reviews, because he used to hold on to it, or even I think there was 1 or 2 games where he didn't even try to use it. Now if he feels like it's important, he just go for it, right? Like it's win or lose, doesn't matter. The review is a joke anyways. So it seems like he's doing a better job at it. He's doing a better job at trying to figure out defenses, like setting up defenses for different teams, whereas he was constantly switching lineups and stuff like that and switching defenses around. He's not doing that as much. He's just using zone, man to man. Possibly sometimes he does use a little bit of box and one, but he hasn't really used that in the past few games. But he's not playing around too much with the lineups. He has finally figured out his lineups. I guess it's because he has all of his guys back, and he's doing a better job of rotating them around. And it's really helping the guys get their rhythm back. Chris Boucher looks a lot better. Precious looks a lot better. But there's one guy that is struggling, and that I will get to. Oh, yeah, and CY even looked good today. But the third key takeaway, guys, the guy we have struggling right now is Scotty Barnes. I think he has hit that rookie wall right now that he's going to have to get over. And I guess it might have to do with everybody being back. But I think he will benefit a lot more coming off the bench, because that would give him more of the... I know he starts for like 4 or 5 minutes, but still, I think he needs to be the most offensive weapon coming off of the bench. So you can give rest to Siakam, you can give rest to Freddie, you can give rest to OG, and let Scotty Barnes be the primary scorer off of your bench. It will help him grow, but it will also rest your guys enough to be available and be more active going down the stretch. So that's something I think that Nick Nurse might need to take a look at, is why is Scotty struggling? Is it because he's in the lineup with 4 other scorers? Probably. So get him coming off of the bench. It doesn't hurt his growth in the sense that, oh yeah, why am I coming off the bench? He doesn't seem like that kid. So help him grow by becoming an offensive weapon rather than just being there trying to facilitate, being a defensive this and that. He showed very good promise. His 3-point shot was looking damn good, but he's just gone away from it because he's trying to facilitate for the rest of the 4 guys, and that's not going to help him grow. So that's what I have for the key takeaways, guys. MVP today. Now, it could go to Freddie VanVleet for making those big-ass shots, but Pascal was on top of his game today, man. He's been looking damn good for the past 5, 6, 10 games. I think he scored more than 20 points in the last 10 or 14 games. That's what I heard on the broadcast. And today he had 29 points, 10 rebounds, 7 assists, a double-double for Pascal again. So he's playing out of his mind. So is Freddie VanVleet. OG is doing his thing. Even though he needs, he needs a little bit more. And Gary Trent is hopefully with the rest today, he comes back, the Gary Trent that was there before the COVID protocol. So that's all I have for you guys for this video. I think we played the Phoenix Suns on Tuesday. I will see you guys after that game. If you enjoyed the content, the analysis, please hit that like and subscribe button, and I will see you guys on Tuesday.